I watched all episodes of Demon Slayer, and here are 15 of the most craziest secrets you didn't know. Beginning with the opening credits of the Entertainment District arc, if you look very closely, you can actually spot who owns the exact houses that Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke infiltrate later in the arc. The intro even secretly shows future characters like the creepy guy Inosuke accidentally punches in the face, and even the man who got his hand cut off by Daki all before they even appear in the story. When Tanjiro and the boys first walk into the Mugen train, the camera briefly starts to cut to the passengers, but the crazy part is that this passenger looks exactly like human Nezuko. She has an extremely similar face, and she's even wearing a very identical outfit. But did you know that the picture of Tanjiro used in the Entertainment District arc intro is the exact same one from the Mugen train opening? Look at these side by side, they're literally identical. There's a fan theory that characters facing left in the opening survive, while the ones facing right don't. But do you remember this scene where Rengoku kept on saying, in old Japan, warriors were taught to savor every bite of their food because it might be their last. Rengoku wasn't just being energetic and funny, he was savoring every bite of his final meal. When Gyutaro is beating up Tanjiro later on in the show, he calls him names like But there's actually a major reason why he says this. Back when Gyutaro was a human, these are the same insults that the village kids used to call him while bullying him. And in that same fight, Tanjiro cuts off one of Daki's legs, and that's when it starts to get weird. See, when Daki regenerates her leg, you can see that the part of her pants also regenerates. Is this a mistake, or are the very clothes she's wearing actually a part of her body? After Tengen shows up and embarrasses her in battle, Daki literally curls up on the floor while crying. It's a moment that feels out of character until you realize she's always relied on her brother Gyutaro to step in and fight her battles when she's scared. There's even something special about Gyutaro's green hair. It's easy to miss, but the color of his hair symbolizes how Gyutaro has been an extremely jealous person his entire life. During his fight against Tanjiro, he was complaining about Tengen's good looks and his 3 wives the entire time. That's why I say, in an alternate universe, Gyutaro and Zenitsu might have actually been friends, because both of them have one big thing in common. They got extremely upset that Tengen had 3 wives. Speaking of his 3 wives, in the regular anime, they're dressed in revealing clothing, but in the Chinese version, their clothes are edited to be a bit more modest, because China has way stricter anime rules than the rest of the world, which means they censor many things. During Tengen's final showdown, there's a slow motion sequence where he stands bloodied, breathing heavily, exactly like the final stance Rengoku made against Akaza. It's a quiet tribute to the fallen flame Hashira. But the animators decided to add in an even crazier secret, because if you look at both Tengen and Rengoku, after their battles, they both lost an eye on the same side of their face. This was such a small detail that I actually missed it the first time around. Also, you probably completely ignored Tengen's swords, but there's something really weird here. Unlike the rest of the Demon Slayers, he doesn't have a sheath for them. Instead, they're wrapped in cloth, and there's a reason that he doesn't have a sheath. Those swords are about the size of Tanjiro, so it wouldn't make sense to add the weight of a heavy sheath. But Tanjiro and Rengoku both have an addiction to the same thing, and I think that Tanjiro would be proud to know that he has a lot more in common with Rengoku than he might think. Because when Rengoku was offered free food by some grateful merchant, he gladly accepted and then bought out the entire rest of their food. And Tanjiro did something very similar when a farmer did him a favor. The farmer generously said that Tanjiro didn't need to repay him, but Tanjiro insisted on paying him back in full. Both Rengoku and Tanjiro are addicted to paying back their debt and can't stand owing favors to others. Okay, but this next one is wild. There's a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure reference buried in Demon Slayer. A specific shot of Tanjiro perfectly mirrors one of the iconic JoJo memes. Don't believe me? Pause it side by side.